Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We're still working on the Taming of the Shrew, and we are still in a scene that nobody can agree what act or scene we're in. Some people say this is 4-1, others might say 3-4. The folio, it's still part of Act 3. We're not quite to 4 yet, but all of this stuff. And then by the time we get to the end of today's monologue, it feels like it should be the ending of a scene because of what comes right after it, but it's still part of Act 3 in the folio. So we're somewhere in the play at this point. We get to hear from Petruchio again today. Petruchio has, by this point, married Catherine. He was a total jerk during the whole wedding and on the wedding day, and then he refused to let her go to the reception. And then as they were riding from the wedding place to his home, she fell off her horse into the mud, and he didn't help her, but instead yelled at everybody else for the fact that she fell in the mud. And now at his place, he has been berating all of his servants because the meat is burnt, or they brought the wrong dogs, and where's the water, and all this sort of stuff. So Petruchio is being absolutely horrid. And when Catherine's like, the meat's not that bad, we could still eat some, he's like, no, nobody will eat it. And they go off into another room where we hear from the servants who sneak on stage to be away from that's going on, that he's just in the other room yelling at her about all sorts of stuff. And then when Petruchio comes back into this room where the audience can see him, the servants all leave, and Petruchio has a moment by himself on the stage, and he says, "Thus have I politically begun my reign, and 'tis my hope to end successfully. My falcon now is sharp and passing empty, and till she stoop, she must not be full gorged, for then she never looks upon her lure. Another way I have to man my haggard, to make her come and know her keeper's call, that is, to watch her, as we watch these kites that bait and beat and will not be obedient. She eat no meat today, nor none shall eat. Last night she slept not, nor tonight she shall not. As with the meat, some undeserved fault I'll find about the making of the bed, and here I'll fling the pillow, there the bolster, this way the coverlet, another way the sheets, aye. And amid this hurly I intend that all is done in reverent care of her. And in conclusion, she shall watch all night, and if she chance to nod, I'll rail and brawl, and with the clamor keep her still awake. This is a way to kill a wife with kindness, and thus I'll curb her mad and headstrong humor. He that knows better how to tame a shrew, now let him speak, 'tis charity to shew." So basically, Petruchio is the worst. He's employing serious methods of torture on Catherine to try to tame her. He's equating her with a hawk, like he's trying to train a hawk, and that's what sort of the first part of the speech is, hawk handlers wear those gloves, and they, they'll be holding a little piece of meat so that as the hawk is flying around, it's tempted to come back. So he's planning on essentially starving Kate until she gives in, and also denying her sleep. He's going to make a big fuss come bedtime, and anytime she starts to fall asleep, he's going to make so much noise that she wakes up again. And this is his plan. Through starvation and sleep deprivation, he's planning to train her to become an ideal wife. And then he looks out at the audience and he's like, if anybody else has better ideas, let me know, because it would be mean of you to not share. So basically, Petruchio he's the worst. He's the worst. And that's the end of this particular scene, if you want to call this a scene. I think there's other places that say that this is the end of 4-1. I know in the folio we're still in Act 3, but there's definitely a break here after he says that, because he leaves the stage and then Hortensio comes in, and Hortensio did not leave the wedding, so there's a change of location as well. So we'll stop here for today, but yeah, seriously, Petruchio is gonna starve his wife and deny her sleep until she starts to obey him. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow for more, and hopefully things will get a little bit better. This is a comedy after all.